Went an entire week without doing any content. Terrible. Said I wasn't gonna do that. It said 5 days a week. 5 days a week. Almost have a good excuse, not really, but I'll try it on for size anyway. Monday and Tuesday, I was gonna take Saturday and Sunday off last week anyway, because it was a stressful week before, a lot of changes. And then Monday and Tuesday, there was a free webinar from ASM, which is the Amazing Selling Machine. Welcome to Guy Talk, by the way. Hit the subscribe and like button. Do it for me. So ASM had a free webinar. They never do free stuff, so that was pretty fantastic. It was 2 days, so Monday, Tuesday, 3 hour. Well, 3 hours first day, about 2.5. You know, that was with Q&A, which Q&A lasted a pretty long time actually. But it was well worth it. It was well worth it. So that's, you know, that was 5 p.m. and it was a live seminar. It wasn't like a lot of the spammy crap that you're like, oh, come join our live thing, and then all of a sudden it's live every 15 minutes. It wasn't one of those. It was literally like, this is it. You watch it. Once you watch it, you're done. It's not available on the internet whatsoever anymore. So that was worth sitting down for those, you know, 3 hour time blocks on Monday and Tuesday. Tons of information from them. Amazing Selling Machine is basically like the premier coaching program for doing Amazon FBA, and they go. I mean, they're also the most expensive, but we'll get into that. And then, but that was awesome. And then Wednesday, I had the great idea to get under the squat rack again, which was, you know, not an awesome idea, but it's been a while. I've been doing a lot of one leg work, dumbbells, and you know, one-legged squats and things like that. But I've got 3, so I'm gonna throw my excuse out here. I've got 3 spinal injuries, one in my neck, one in the mid-back, like T7, T6 area, so basically shoot an arrow through my stomach, comes right out of my spine in that, you know, straight line. And then my hips are torqued, so I guess for you guys it'd be this way. For me it's this way. I have like where your sacrum is, sacrum, whatever the hell people say it, and there's 4 ligaments on the other side, and basically I've like shredded most of the ligaments on one side, and so my hips pull, obviously where all the good ones are, it's unbalanced, so it pulls and it tilts it down that way. So whenever I put, you know, get on the squat bar, or like seriously, front squats are like completely out of the question right now. It's just like nervous system overload. So, but I wanted to do like real, you know, I had an itch, man. I had to get out there and throw around a little bit of weight, and I was in a terrible mood. It was like total nervous system overload for like the next 36, 48 hours, and I was just in a terrible mood. I didn't want to do shit. I had enough stuff I had to do to keep busy, and it's not a time for me to have a conversation. But, you know, I'm trying to get some of the muscle mass back. You know, I'm probably, I don't even know what the hell I am now. 180, I'm probably only like 185 now. At one point I was 237, so it's a lot of weight. 237 was too much weight. I was ridiculous. I was just eating nonstop and lifting heavy weights nonstop and not stretching, which is why I have so many back injuries now. So kids out there, don't forget to stretch, man. Do yoga. It's manly. And so yeah, and that led to me just kind of like not doing a video, basically. So not a good excuse, but you know, it happens. So here we are. Back to the first thing. I know if anybody's following the Amazon FBA stuff, I talked about the product I was going to possibly do. Turns out that product was not as advertised. There's this badass like rack that went with the containers that I was looking at getting, and you know, doing a little modifications and what. But it turns out the rack doesn't even come with it, and that was like the differentiation of the whole concept of doing it in the first place. So who'd have thunk it, right? Been working on another, I'm not sure if another product, not sure if the numbers are gonna match on that, but I'll keep you updated on it. But, you know, back to the ASM, the Amazing Selling Machine stuff, I got that link because of Project Life Mastery, which I signed up for just a newsletter, like free shit. So they send me the emails of the people they're connected with, and yes, at the end of the day, they are all online sharing information to make money. So yes, they're going to try to sell you something. That doesn't mean they're bad people. am not of the opinion that everybody out on the internet should give out free shit and that you should somehow be able to consume it like a raging socialist and not have to pay for it. Good information is worth what you pay for it. Now, is there scam artists out there? Absolutely. You know, I think it tends to be, the scammers tend to be cheaper because it's easier to get you to take a bite out of it. It's a lot easier to have someone dump $100 to $300 on a course and it be total garbage, and that person's really not, I mean, they're going to get on a forum and write a bunch of bad shit about you, but they're not going to take you to court or something like that. I think the more money you spend, honestly, is worth it. So if someone charges $5,000-$6,000 like ASM does, $6,000 if you do the payment plan, $5,000 if you don't, if you just do one-time payment, you know, if they're not offering the stuff they advertise, I mean, that's, now you're talking legal issues, right? That's a serious chunk of change. And you know, so I got the web through Project Life Mastery, which I also recommend. I can't sit here and say I recommend the Amazing Selling Machine because, you know, I don't have the $5,000 or $6,000 to spend on it at the moment. We'll see how things go, and maybe I'll save up for it once I get a few products launched. But I'm grateful that they spent all that time. It was literally the two founders spent all that time to explain in great detail in one spot, basically in the majority of the things that you need to know to be able to launch. Now, obviously, I'm somebody who thinks you need to absorb information from tons of people. So that I had already consumed a lot of information, and that gave even more validity to what they were saying. So I wouldn't go out and just say, hey, I want to do Amazon FBA and immediately drop that money. I think you need to gather a bunch more information and maybe even launch your first product once you have it and then go there. Now, if you're somebody who is thinking about starting a business and you've got liquid capital, especially if you're thinking about starting a brick and mortar, I would, you know, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but I would strongly suggest you do something online if that fits your business model in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I'll do a video separately just about my experiences in that. But I mean, if you think about, you go to junior college for 6 months and you're spending $6,000, right? And 90% of that crap you don't even want to know or need to know. It's a means to an end, so you can go take real classes after that. So, you know, or you go to university, forget about it. I mean, it's $50,000 a year for a high quality university, and they guarantee you a $40,000 a year job unless you go get your master's, and then maybe you get like a $70,000 or $80,000 a year job. My understanding is that the average of the Amazing Selling Machine is $67,000 that someone, not that they sell on Amazon or on the internet, but what they keep, what they pocket, like as their actual salary. So that includes the total dud people who launch one product and they fail and quit, you know, and then the people up that are making $250,000, million plus a year. So the average is 67. That's pretty damn good average, to be honest with you. So, you know, this is not a sales pitch for them. I haven't even bought the program, but I'm just saying, trying to put things into perspective for people here. You know, the cost of brick and mortar is, well, you're going to borrow $200,000, or even if you're doing a small shop, you've got lease obligations, you've got employment insurance, you've got, you know, 15 different state and local municipal regulation authorities that have XYZ coming at you that you have to comply with, fire code, liability goes on and on and on and on, and obviously that doesn't even include the lease that you have to pay or the purchase of a place and how much that costs if that's the route you want to go as well. So, you know, in the big scheme of things, to be able to launch a business, let's say you spent $5,000 and then you spent another $10,000 doing like all your marketing and your inventory and building a brand to start. I mean, if you fail miserably, you're out $15,000. You fail miserably in a brick and mortar, you're out a shit ton of money. So just keep that in mind if you're somebody out there who's like, I really want to run a business and have a business, and don't let your passion for this move to action of creating this storefront cloud the realities of what what that obligation now is, because it's steep. Another one to look at is the Just One Dime guys. Seth Kniep, he puts out a shit ton of free information, ton of it, ton of stuff, man. It's really appreciated what he does for free. Now, obviously, he's one of the largest Amazon FBA guys as well. He's got, you know, paid, I think a lifetime is like 10 grand for a lifetime, but then if you just want to do the regular course thing, it's like 2 grand. And then he's got other stuff like online and retail arbitrage, courses that are cheaper than that, and he's just another person to look at, you know. And just like all these guys, like anybody who's put themselves out there and had a business online, somebody's going to shit it somewhere. So, you know, the great thing about the internet is that it's full of free information. It's a wealth of knowledge, but it also comes with the confusion of the cluster of opinions. There's not a topic on the planet that you can't Google and find both sides of it, right? You know, it just doesn't exist. So I think one problem with people is that they go to look for something and then they see a complaint and someone say, this is garbage, this is trash. Well, if you're going to do that, you got to try to find and then validate all the people saying the positive things. And then you have to have, you know, the ability to think objectively about what is actually being offered and run that through your mind, because you're going to find both sides of that argument. So just keep that in mind. It just is what it is, you know. And going on to the Super Bowl, Tom Brady is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and some people think he's a piece of shit. Well, it's obviously, you know, he's got to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? I mean, that's one thing, but you can still find tons of stuff on the internet that says he's, you know, terrible, that Belichick's the one that did all of it, and, you know, if it wasn't for the system put in place, he wouldn't be that good. So, you know, that's what it is. That's the internet. Super Bowl tomorrow. Moving on to other things. I'm picking the GOAT, man. I'm picking the GOAT, and the Rams are the new flashy thing on the shelf. Not going to bet against Tom. I know they lost last year to the Eagles, which was ridiculous. And I'm not even a Patriots fan. I don't even like the Patriots. But, you know, I do have an appreciation for greatness, so I will pick Tom Brady to win. You notice how I said Tom Brady, right? This has got to be the worst team he's ever brought to a Super Bowl. Just saying. Gronk is like on his last leg, even though he's a tough SOB. Picking him 41. Oh, I didn't even bring my laptop in here. I was going to have Metallica in the background. Fuck. Oh well. 41 to, we'll go what, 30, well 35 is 5 touchdowns. I think it's going to be 2 field goals. So we'll go 34 for the Rams. So 34 to 41. I don't know if Tom can put up 41, but we're going to pick it. 41, 34, 41, 34. The Patriots are going to win tomorrow. That's my pick. I'll have to add some music into the background of this, man. It's too quiet in here. It's like 12 o'clock at night. Anything else for you guys? I will be at it more every, you know, I'll be much more consistent, and I know I keep saying that, but I'm serious, I will. And anything else I want to touch on today? I think that is it, dudes. That's it. I will talk to you all later. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe. Peace.